Zalamwera Adimbiti Shibambela Zalamwera Shibambela Shanana.
Testing 5 4 3 2 1.
Senikatangutu Shipaweta Nanawera Shipaweta Oh Senikatangutu Shipaweta Nanawera Shipaweta Shanana. 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 Shanana.
to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. I got to write a little note to myself, and I got to find a pen that would do it for me, and which is, okay. Nice. United, thank you. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the show. It's Friday. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question, a doozy. Can you make a conscious decision? Can you make a conscious decision? Can you? An amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you could be listening to the show no matter where you are and what you're doing. You can podcast, but you still can listen as it is happening on your iPhone, iPad. All you have to do is call the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. All right? Amazing. It's Friday. And Friday is still open line Friday, but we have decided that Friday will be Black Friday as well, because we are making a conscious decision to really try to help the blacks understand, and not all, but most blacks, because some do understand, the difference between reality and an illusion. We want them to, we're trying to help them see how things were for the blacks, the attitude, the determination, the getting along with most people, it didn't matter the color, the work ethics, how they did not rely on the government. They did not have leaders. They, at the time, was individual leaders of their own lives. Their parents and grandparents were responsible for them until they became adults. But other than that, no leaders, no Martin Luther King Jr., no civil rights leaders, no Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, none of those people. Blacks were independent, and as a result, they did have strong family. Less than 10% of the children born out of wedlock. They had amazing families. They were creative. They bought land, and they were not angry. The type of anger that you see where they blame other people now. And so we're making it because the blacks have been lied to for over the last 70 years about real reality of the black Americans. So we're trying to show them a little bit of reality of how it was and how it is today. And for what the feedback that I'm getting, some blacks are starting to wake up. They just didn't know. I didn't know blacks thought that way and lived that way at one time. I was under the impression, they say, that blacks has always been enslaved. And under the Jim Crow law, they were still enslaved. And they were being put up on a tree and all that mess. They've been lied to by people like Jasmine Cricket and others even today. So we've decided we do take all calls on Friday, no matter what. But every Friday now is Black Friday. The way it was and the way it is now. I love the blacks.
You do make disparaging remarks towards black people.
Be black.
I want to make sure we agree on that first.
No, we disagree.
Hold on.
I want to ask. Well, and the things that you do, just like I say, I want to hate you, but something won't let me.
Hey,
what?
What's wrong with the blacks? And so we're trying to restore some law and order. I already know. I'm not deceived by it. I know a few will catch up, most won't. And the reason that most won't is because most people do not want to overcome their misery. They love being angry. They love being hateful. They love the thrill that they get from that. They love being equal right people. Did you know that equal right people are very weak? Very weak. And as a result of being equal right people, things would never get better in my country again. It's too far down the road. And so I understand that most people won't, but there are one or two, three or four who are catching on. And it's those one or two that want the truth are the only ones that we care about. The rest can stay in your hell, can blame, can be equal right people, and just live your miserable lives. Really. God is not going to worry about it. Jesus, his son won't worry about Jesus, and I won't worry about it. But for those who just want to know, I'm in this whole, how do I get out? Amazing, huh? Oh, let me tell you this before I go to the soundbite. And then your phone calls. Last night, men's forum. Amazing. Really. Amazing. And there were men come from all over the place to be there because they want the truth. They're working on themselves. And I realized so much, it was mind-blowing. It really was. Also, want to encourage you, those guys that were there last night at the men's forum, ladies, yours coming up, don't worry, on the third Thursday of this month, every month. But I want to encourage those guys to stay with it. Don't stop. You stay with it. I don't care how rough it gets. I don't care how you fall back into the imagination or emotions. And just come back out of them. I don't care if the whole world turned against you. You come back out of them and don't give up. Forgive the world they cannot see. And don't try to hold on to the world. You got to let it go. Really. And you don't let it go of yourself. The Spirit of truth will cause that to happen without your effort. So stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. One thing I realized about wisdom, I hear people say, oh, I found myself. I know myself now. I found, they lying. They have not found themselves. Believe me. You could literally bank on that. They have not found themselves. They don't know themselves. What I realized from wisdom is always unfolding. And so you can never assume that you already know everything and that you found yourself. You know yourself, you don't. Really. Wisdom is like, I remember when I was living in Alabama, and down behind our house, down there behind the house over there by that cotton field over there was a stream, and the water would always flow down this little stream. It wasn't like a lake or anything, just a stream of water. And the water would be fresh. And for 24 hours a day, it's running. It's constantly moving up and down the stream. Well, not up and down, but down the stream. And wisdom is like that. And when wisdom comes, it's like it's nothing you could learn on yourself, of yourself, and no one could have taught that to you or anything. It's mind-blowing. So stay with it, guys and ladies who are working on themselves. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. I don't care what happens. You stay with it. And yes, your family, friends, and workers and co-workers, they're going to turn on you because they're evil. You can expect that to happen, but don't hold it against them. You see it for what it is, but don't bother by it. And you stay on that straight and narrow path, you will not regret it. That meeting last night, that forum last night, was mind-blowing in a good way. Searching souls, a return to the Father. Another thing I realized, because I do a lot of counseling with men and women around the world by phone, Skype, or walk-in, individual and family counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-BOND to make an appointment. I noticed how easily, real easy, when you first get on that journey of wanting to overcome, and you start to have a little light, you start to see. And as a result, evil spirits really get busy to manipulate you, to make you think this is it, or that is it. And you have it, or they make you give up. They'll make you think your gift is from God. Oh, I wasn't expecting this gift. I wasn't looking for it, they say. And not knowing that it's from the devil. Because they think just because they weren't looking, it's from God. And the devil plays all kinds of tricks on you. All types of on this journey. That is why you have to become an absolute observer, really, of your thoughts, which are not your own. Your thoughts are not your own. You have to absolutely become aware of that. Because I can tell you right now, don't look for this and don't look for that. Don't look for this or anything. And you're like, oh, I'm not going to look for anything. I'm not going to look for it. I'm going to wait and let the Lord add it unto me. And in that very moment, Satan get busy and he'll give you what you're not looking for. And you're thinking it's from God because he'll convince you that you're not looking for it. And it'll come in a beautiful package. And you will believe that it's from God. And then later, you will find out that it's not. So just stay present. Don't give up. Be determined to go all the way to the end. All the way to the end. All right? You will not regret it. I promise you that. You won't regret it. It will blow. You won't regret it. It will cause you to grow in a marifro. Not an afro, but a marifro. But so stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. All right? Amazing form last night. I want to give you, and then I will get to the calls. It is Open Line Friday, but it is Black Friday. We love the blacks, and there are black men and women who want help. They really do want to overcome. They just didn't know. They didn't know the first step to take because they didn't know what the problem was, the real problems. But once they hear it, they're like, right on. I want to give you an example of how blacks used to live before the equal rights, civil rights era came along and destroyed them. Here's an example from 1938 of a video of black neighborhood. No, here's a 1938 video of a black neighborhood in North Carolina. Watch this from Instagram. So do the blacks look angry? Do they look like equal rights people? Do they look defeated, helpless? Do they look as though Jim Crow coming after them? Or the KKK has a mob of people right down the road? Or do they look like they're at peace? See the family members standing around. I saw Plug, Sugar, Uda, Sweet, Leroy, Junior, Baybra, Bayboy, Uncle Libra, Uncle WC. I saw them all in that video right there. They weren't there reality, but they looked all, it was the same. That's how it was when I was growing up. I saw Uncle Buddha Boy, Uncle Charlie. You've been lied to, Black Americans. You've been told you need equal rights. You need civil rights. And you've been lied to. And they'll give you those titles in order to manipulate white people, the superior people, and they've created a class of equal right people, and now things are a mess. But you can take back your life. You've been lied to. And the people who lied to you, they're making buku money and so-called power off your misery. They do not want you happy and free. They want you down and out and mad and fighting and cursing and hating white people, the superior people, and blaming them because you are now an equal right person or people, or civil rights people. Civil right / equal right people are pathetic. They're weak, group thinking, angry, evil people. And the ones that created you are even worse. You saw how friendly and happy. I remember when my grandmother and my mother used to wash clothes in a tub like that. As a matter of fact, when we were time to take a bath, we had to take a bath in a tub like that. We had to heat up the water on the wooden stove and pour the hot water into a tub like that and take a bath. You know, amazing. We didn't have no showers, indoor bathroom and all that, and yet we were happy. We were at peace. We were not blaming anyone, living our lives. That was back in 1938. So, and back that time, there were no equal right people, and there were no civil rights people. We were taught to treat all the way that we would like to be treated, and we did our best to do that, and it was amazing. No one was trying to force their ways into other people's community, other people's schools. Quite happy with what we had. Grateful. And as a result, life was amazing. And then came along the so-called talented tent, W.D. Du Bois and others who wanted, hey, we are the smarter one. We went to college. And we want to be your leaders. We want to be your thinkers. We want to tell you what's best for you and how to think. Not realizing W.D. Du Bois was a communist and he hated America. He finally left and denounced or dropped his citizenship here in America. And then come along the so-called civil rights movement. And then equal rights. And every law they passed contradicted another law because they needed more and more and more and more civil rights. And now you're paying through the teeth. High taxes, division, blame, sadness, loneliness, suicidal thoughts, out of wedlock birth. It's just a real mess. So I showed you an example of what it was in the good old days when boys were boys and men were men, when there were no such thing as equal rights or civil rights, and blacks were free. And then I want to show you what it's like now. Started with the equal right, with civil rights / equal right people. You saw what it was then. And they don't want you to know about then. They only want you to know about now. So they can make up lies about then and make you believe lies so you can get angry so that they can control you. So you saw what it was like then. Here's what it's like now. You can't even take blacks on a cruise. They have to fight, cuss, carry on no matter what. They can't even go to McDonald's without a fight now. And this is condition. These are civil rights, equal right people. This is what this country has created. The leadership, so-called government and others of this country. So you saw what it was like then. Here's an example of what it's like now from Fox News. Carnival Cruise Line banned 24 people from future sailing after a massive brawl broke out at a Galveston, Texas terminal where the ship they were on was docked. Watch this from NBC News.
24 people are now banned from sailing with Carnival Cruise Line after getting into a fight. The video from Saturday appears to show a group of people, you see them here, shoving each other while disembarking a ship inside of a terminal in Galveston. You can see people being pushed to the ground. In a statement to NBC News, Carnival says this happened in an area under the authority of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol and has been turned over to law enforcement.
Isn't that amazing? They can't go anywhere now. And all the white people want is their first-class life. They work hard. The superior people, they work hard. They would tell their children to work hard in school so you can create a good life for yourself. And they do. They want to fly first class on the airplane. They want to go on a cruise, especially in July, because July just feels white. The superior people just want a life. But the equal rights, civil rights people won't let that happen. On a cruise. Who fight on a cruise? Even before they take off. This is what it's like now, but it wasn't like that then. Here's another situation where a woman on a Carnival cruise started yelling at the staff and other guests because her cabin didn't have air conditioning. Watch this.
They already gave you. So if they gave you nothing, that is what you're going to get. Because this is the supervisor, the manager, the team lead right here. What's her name? Maria. Maria just told me that corporate decided that they cannot give you anything else. So you might want to get out of line and go home. Maybe you might want to get a customer service number because they are not going to give you anything than what you have right now. Despite you sweating 5 nights every single night that you've been on this ship. This is not customer service. Y'all dead ass wrong for that. No AC. Yeah, you call the goddamn security and get me off this bitch. You better not touch me.
Amazing, huh? I showed you what it was like back then and what it's like now. And now, do you believe me when I tell you it's only going to get worse? Because the equal rights, civil rights people have been trained well. It's not uncommon now to go to a McDonald's to pick up some coffee or something and see black people throwing food away all over the counter, behind the counter, yelling at the workers. Just think about this now. Really just think about it. White people just want to go on a cruise. And they love their cruises. In their mind, it's so white. It's so freedom. It's so amazing. They tell everybody about it. They take amazing pictures. Now they can't even go on a cruise in comfort. Because the blacks that are allowed now to go on a cruise have just taken the joy out of it. And you notice how that worker was so afraid to even go near that black woman. Black people, I recommend you do what you want. You take back your life. Drop the anger, the hatred. You've been lied to. And white people just want a first-class life. And I have some example of that coming up for you. Going to blow your mind. 888-7753-773. Do you believe me now when I say white people got to separate before it's too late from the equal right and the civil rights people? 888-77-JESSE. Quick break. Back in a moment.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do You've absolutely changed my life for the positive, and I just want to thank you. I was 29-year-old beta, living at home with my mom, and just was living in fear and in doubt, and I couldn't hold down a job. And then I found you, and I started listening, and I started just being more at peace. And I forgave my mom, and I forgave my father. And it's like right after that, everything just changed in my life, and I was able to get a good job, and I moved out, and I live on my own now, and everything has just changed. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better. Amazing. The way it was then and how it is now. South Africa is in America now. And unlike the whites in South Africa who waited too late to move away from the blacks and start their own, go back out to the farmland, start their own thing, they waited too late. Even though they were trying to do it, it's not working. Quick announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. And James Hake is on fire. 9 a.m. You don't want to miss it. The Hake Report. And then at 11 a.m., no Joel Friday. He black. He is Joel Thursday. Monday through Thursday. Even though his name is Friday. On Friday at 11 a.m., a brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv. An amazing discussion with Joe Stout. And Joe is a CEO of 2 companies, homeschooler advocate, traditional Christian educator, and the father of 10 white babies. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
White people are going to become the minority in America, and that's the last thing we need to happen. It's over for America if that should happen.
America certainly can't continue as America unless you have your founding stock that stays here. If the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants go away, then what you had to begin with fundamentally disappears.
Absolutely.
We want to be altruistic. It's kind of in our nature, and yet we'll do so at the expense of ourselves.
Amazing. It was an amazing conversation at 11 a.m. Pacific time. TheFallenState.tv. TheFallenState.tv. I want you to know, because they have convinced the superior people to give in to the inferior people, equal rights, civil rights people, affirmative action, DEI people. It's over for America. But to the white people, you still have a chance. Start your own thing. Your new government, your new court system, your police department, and forbid them to enter in, no matter what they say. You got to, as an individual, you got to stand up and fight evil within yourself, and you got to deal with it on the outside in the right way. So that's the Fallen State today at 11 a.m. You can become a member of the Fallen State right there on YouTube, thefallenstate.tv, or locals. Thank you for your support. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. Amazing. The American Anchor Baby energy given to him by God, on fire, at 12 noon. Heard around the world by everybody and their mama if you're black, and their mama if you're white. So check it out. And then fellowship on Sunday. We do have fellowship every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. I have one more thing I want to show you, then I want to get to your calls here. I showed you, if you missed it, I showed you how things were for the blacks back in the even as late as 1938. That's when things really supposed to be bad for the blacks. Don't they tell you that? Oh, they were stringing you up by trees. You can go and you couldn't have a life. They lied to you. It's the same as someone who tell you that anger is normal. It's good to be angry. Everybody's angry. And we have super chats and things like that. But I want to start the next hour in showing you the way things... Another example. You've been lied to, folks. You were lied to, every human being. You were lied to about your father, men and women. You were turned away from your earthly fathers. You've been lied to about blacks couldn't make it in America. Now you need equal rights. And everybody and the mama now equal rights, right? All week. Pathetic people. You've been lied to. Why don't you become an individual again? Why don't you drop your anger? All right? 888-7753-773. Let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Jesse? Thanks for having me, man.
All is well, Josh. You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. I was calling to answer that biblical question.
Can you make a conscious decision?
Yes, I can.
And how?
It's just by being aware that it's not me making the decision, and that it just looks like it's me making that decision, but I really had no choice.
You had no choice but to make the decision.
Yeah. So that means it's really not a decision, because it's like I had no other way to do it, you know. So it looks to everybody else like I'm making a decision, but I'm really not.
Amazing.
And that's how I see it. What a conscious decision is. Yeah.
Well,
so it's not a decision, really. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Josh, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. And so, Josh, were you able to either hear that those blacks fighting on the cruise or see it?
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
Normal.
You're, for the record, you're black, right?
Yes, sir.
He black.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
Yeah.
What's your opinion about that?
Yeah, you know, that's normal. That's the norm nowadays, because of the culture. It's just the culture. I grew up in that culture, and
what does that mean? The culture.
It's like the music black people listen to. Like how you say all your aunts and uncles had nicknames. That's the same way in my family too. We got Uncle Nandy and Uncle Junebug, and black people have it's like being from a different country. And I guess propagandists, evil people, they have pushed that to where it's like, I feel like I'm from a different country than James Hake, because he was raised in a different culture.
But how old are you?
37.
So, but when you were growing up, were the blacks out of control like this? I guess you're 37. So
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, that's all you know then,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, we grew up listening to rap music and idolizing drug dealers. Yeah, and gangsters and that's what. But I'm from the suburbs. I never even lived in the hood, but even the suburb blacks, they try to imitate the ghetto blacks.
And so did you grow up with a black mindset or black mentality?
You know what? It was like my dad it was half and half. It was half and half. But mostly black. You know what? It's hard to say. It's hard to say because my parents, they're from the South. Like blacks in the South, they're not really into that, but it was going that way. So yeah, I don't know, man.
So as a black, I mean, I don't like saying this. It's so liberal. Forgive me.
Right.
But are you? So you are accustomed to seeing black people act this way, and blame white people, and they're civil rights people, and equal right people. You're accustomed to it because that's all you know.
Yeah, that's the culture. That's the culture. That's how we were raised to kind of act out that stereotype.
But why do you call it a stereotype if that's normal for most blacks?
Because it's like they're acting. They're really ain't
but they're
no
not acting,
blacks.
they're doing it. That's not an act.
I used to act it out. I used to be into the rap stuff and ghetto gangster mentality. But it's like I'm acting. It's like and as I got older, I stopped doing that. And people say I act like a white boy now, and I kind of. It doesn't matter when you're older, but when you're young, it's like you're looking for an identity. It seems like you're acting, and there really isn't a difference between, skin tones or races, but it's like, I don't know. It seems like it's acting to me, but most people are doing it.
You said there isn't a difference between what?
The races.
You mean the blacks and the whites?
It's like, okay, there is.
There is a difference. What the?
But there really isn't, though.
What do you mean?
It's like Bill Lockwood was he was scared. It's like people are scared to say. Well, it's not scared.
What do you mean there's no difference between the blacks and the whites?
Because it's hard to explain, man. I fool a lot of people because people look at me and they think I'm like the typical black, but I'm really not like that. And there are white guys who are blacker than me, quote unquote, who act. So maybe I'm an exception or whatever, but it's like I don't know. It's kind of the same thing with men and women. Men and women are completely different species, but we're really not that. I guess we're not our body.
Do you agree with me or disagree that white people need to really separate themselves from the blacks and to create their own constitution, their own government, their own police department and court system, and just keep blacks out of their areas? Yeah. You agree with that?
That's what they should do.
And why?
Yeah, I agree.
And why?
Because that's how America started, and that's how it became great. And now that white people are acting just like blacks now, and it's going down.
Amazing.
It's going down. They're acting like with the hating the Jews. That's the exact way that we were raised to hate white people. The way that they're hating, they don't even see it at all.
You become like what you hate.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Josh.
Okay. No problem. Thank you, man.
And I will put my 2 cents in on Sunday about the biblical question. Thank you.
All right. I'll be listening, man.
All right, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
888-7753-773. Super chat. Super.
Chats. Nice. Over on Buy Me a Coffee and other platforms as well, Pilled, Pastor Chatelet says, Base Department calling. Uncle Jesse on Pill.net. What the amazing.
What? Oh, amazing.
Nice.
Peel Network.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amazing.
Trash
appreciate
Man
it.
Green gifted the cookie. Very nice.
Trash Man Green.
Yes.
How y'all come up with these names? What the? Thank you.
Vanita71 also gifted the cookie. Very cool.
Right on. Thank you, Vanita.
Eric bought a coffee in response to the biblical question.
Can you make a conscious decision?
No. There's no such thing as conscious thinking, says Eric. The imagination of my ego makes decisions. When I'm led by truth, there's no decision to make. So he says.
Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Charles bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, it's simple. The origin of blacks dates to a warm climate, and the origin of whites' climate is cold. Cold climate forced whites to be more resourceful and innovative to survive, while warm climate made blacks lazy, not have to be as resourceful. This formed our DNA. You're welcome.
But that's not true, because in the good old days, I showed you from 1938, right? In the good old days, black people were as resourceful and innovative as white people back then. Amazing. Thank you.
Uncle Ruckus says, I ain't paying no reparations except to Jesse.
You so hot to beat me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Shout out to yesterday's top contributors on the D Live crew: Cactus Eater Bear, Games for Rec, Kid Combo 1, Wolf 336, and the rest of the supporters, as always.
Right on. Thank you all. Amazing. Shout out.
3 coffees from Lori on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Hi, Jesse. I notice how evil tries to stop me from praying every day, in my head and outside of me with distractions. The devil cannot tolerate prayer. It's a direct contact to God, only way to keep present. That's why it's so hard for most people to stick with silent prayer. Thanks to you and your crew.
Thank you, and I thank you for helping us. But the devil, if you were doing that hooping and hollering, praying and begging, and Lord bless my mama, bless my children, oh Lord, have me come by here, Lord, the devil will have no problem with that. But to be still and let go, yes, he's going to give you a hard time. He doesn't want you to do that. But stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Don't stop. And don't fight with the devil. Just be aware of him. Amazing. Thank you.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee, in Heat says, Jesse, in the spirit of Black Friday, yesterday you advised a caller to contact the authorities, FBI, to intervene in his unique situation. In your years of counseling experience, you ever had to intervene on behalf of someone by contacting authorities, police, FBI, per info you gained?
Not that I can remember.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Madeline, 5 coffees. Happy Friday, JLP and crew. Why does Ron from Texas believe America will be a better place when handed over? Their ideologies are literally destroying American values and culture as we speak.
It's amazing that poor Ron, he mean well. Don't blame me, Ron. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Amazing. Thank you. It's amazing, though. Thank you.
Bowser gifted the can on pilled.net. So cool to see you here, Jesse Lee Peterson. You've always been one of my favorites. Much love, bro. 07, which is a salute.
Salute. Thank you, and thank for your support. I appreciate it.
Madeline, another 3 coffees. Happy Black Friday, team. You can see the inferiority because they can't even find a way to work together to make their communities better. Also, their poison rap trash spreading evil in kids, especially the girls.
That's what's so interesting to me about anger and a lack of self-control and turning your lives over to somebody that leads your life like that. You don't see that you're wrong. You don't see the connection between thoughts and emotions. You really believe it's somebody else. It's mind-blowing to see that. Amazing conversation about that last night. I can't get into it, but amazing conversation about that last night at the men's forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. Anthony G., 7 coffees, ran into this quote, thought it was amazing. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell a hell of heaven.
Amazing. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Another Anthony on Cash App. Ain't no snacks in Africa. Cheese doodle dandy.
There was this woman, a black woman, according to the video, I don't know if it's true or not, is it just for the click, but she moved to Africa because she was tired of being around the racists in America. And now she's catching pure hell. It's so bad, not only do they not get electricity at times, she can't even find any snacks. And she looks like she's fat as a pig, but she can't find her snacks. Amazing. Thank you.
Anthony with a couple more on Bond JLP Cash App. Wakanda forever. Ain't no electricity in Wakanda. Help.
Do we have that soundbite?
Yesterday with the fat girl in Africa.
I want to, just in case you missed it, and it really made my point about the way it was in America back then and the way it is now for the blacks.
We have it.
Watch this from X.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit robbery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that called that be coming down? The bullshit animals, it's scorpions outside the house, it's big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the room with you, sleeping with you, all the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below, because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be, and I'm going to go out to Africa and make happen. No, I don't want to.
Amazing.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to...
I gotta take a break. When I come back, your phone call. Thank you for your super chat.
We'll read the rest later, guys.
Right, and we're gonna read the rest when we come back. Quick break, hate news and not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry, because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger, because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. Drama over Trump's righteous tariffs. Communist May Day demonstrations. Probably communist, right? Oh, yeah. Looks like it. And communist PBS and NPR, including evil, lame-o, ridiculous Sesame Street, even though I grew up on it. I'm part communist, I guess. I grew up in it. Drama. Funding drama. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Black Friday, formerly known as Get It Off Your Chest Friday, which you can still get it off your chest. You don't have to be black to call in, but if you are black, you get special love today. The lines are full, guys. You can call in every so often just in case a line opens up, okay? Just in case a line opens up. I'm doing the Zoomer and boomer phone signals, okay? Zoomers and boomers, welcome. And everybody in between, and even the alphas and betas, if betas are old enough to call and use a phone and speak. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports, ever heard of de minimis exception? De minimis? It's about to make our greatest president, Donald J. Trump's trade war with China hit much closer to home, which we need to because the enemies are at home. The exception is a major shipping loophole that allowed the importing of goods worth less than $800 to come to the U.S. duty-free and often without time-consuming inspections and paperwork. However, the exception expired at 1 minute past midnight, which means nearly 4 million duty-free shipments a day will now be subject to a tariff-based. Reminds me of those shoplifters who shoplift $899 because $900 you got to go to jail. Since many of those, I may be getting the numbers wrong, since many of those items are sold through ultra-low-cost Chinese e-commerce sites like Shane or Shein, however you pronounce it, Temu, AliExpress, the tariff could be as high as 145% based. And May Day demonstrations. It was taken over by the commies. You know how the Christians took over pagan holidays thousands of years ago? Well, the commies are taking over the decent holidays, the decent, beautiful spring holidays. Terrible. Thousands of protesters, degenerates, rallied across the United States on Thursday in response to our greatest President Trump's righteous actions on immigration, the war in Gaza, federal so-called workers and unions, communist unions, those so-called demonstrators organized under the banner of the grassroots, they're calling it, 50501 movement, filled the streets of major cities. Don't be a movement, be still. Major cities and small towns holding signs and calling for change. Oh, Lord. This is a quote, Trump has poor and working class people forgetting who our enemies are. Our enemies are not international students who organize on their campus. Our enemies are not undocumented workers that contribute to their communities, that pay taxes and can't get services. Our enemies are not workers that work for corporations, unquote. That's what an organizer said, and Commie Nonsense is promoting it because they love it. To a large crowd of degenerates gathered in New York City's Union Square. And the quote goes on, no, this racist, sexist, anti-worker, homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic system is our enemy, unquote. How embarrassing, right? More demonstrations scheduled to take place tomorrow on the Sabbath, on Saturday, on Sabbath. So watch out for the worst of the worst. They're going to be filling the streets. Don't pick fights with them. And PBS and NPR funding. Trump, our greatest, signed an executive order Thursday directing the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to end federal funding for NPR and PBS. Good. Which they provide free and universal access, communist buzzword, as you know, to a wide array of news, which is propaganda, and cultural content. What a mess. We need less culture. We need more civilization. Trump's order also, blah, 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 blah. I got to get out of here. JLP's coming up next, guys. Hour 2.
To stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question, a doozy. Can you make a conscious decision? Can you make a conscious decision? And again, these questions for you to know yourself. Those who want to be free, examine thyself. Know thyself. Really. It's not for everybody. Because most people love being revengeful and jealousy and envy and strife and gossip and fear and anxiety and worry and stress and whatever. They love their misery. They love their hell. You couldn't take it from it if you tried or could. And they don't want a way out. But for those who want a way out, these biblical questions for you to know yourself. You're going to be surprised what you will find. So, can you make a conscious decision? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you are running around, you can podcast all the shows, but you're like, I would like to listen to the show while I'm exercising. I would like to listen to the show while I'm out building a home. I would like to listen to the show while I'm picking cotton. Whatever you're doing, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You could be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. It's Friday, and every Friday is Black Friday. I love the blacks.
You do make disparaging remarks towards black people.
He black.
I want to make sure we agree on that first.
No, we disagree.
Hold on.
I want to ask.
Well, and the things that you do, I just like I say, I want to hate you, but something won't let me.
Hey,
What?
what's wrong with the blacks?
It's a shortened version I have.
Oh. Okay.
That I also have.
I like the other one where it shows how the blacks were and how they are now.
That one's nice, yeah.
It's like, do you like Punch's coffee or do you like somebody else's coffee? You know
I thought
what I
I'd try it.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
It may not be hidden.
It's not like a sin. It's not bad. It's just different. But anyway, Friday's still open on Friday, but because we love the blacks, and there are blacks who want to overcome, but they just don't know how. They don't know how to drop the anger. They don't know how to do it. And we want them to know they've been deceived. They're being used. And I want to give you a quick example of the way it was. Check out the first hour. We played an example in the first hour. Here's another change that has happened in my country, and more proof that my country is not coming back. When I was growing up and when America was amazing, there was a different thing in how you were expected to grow up, become independent, and go live your life. And so the system and your family was set up to make that happen. And according to this article, growing up in the 60s made you stronger and independent. I want to know, do you agree with these principles? All right? This is from the Daily Motivational News. 9 reasons growing up in the 60s made you more independent and strong. Watch this. Well, listen to this.
Yeah, just like the article reads, 9 reasons growing up in the 60s made you more independent and strong. Number 1, you had fewer distractions.
So true. You didn't have the internet. You were not allowed to watch TV all day. It just wasn't there. You had to be doing something or just have quiet time.
It's in fact what it says right here about what you just said about the television. You know, I'm always struck by how much they had to do with so little.
Yep. Amazing.
The social expectations encourage you to stand up for yourself. Now, this one's interesting. They're talking about civil rights here. The 60s were all about challenging the status quo, fighting for civil rights, women's rights, pushing back on social expectations. So this article...
That was a big mistake. That was not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. That was the beginning of the downfall. Amazing.
Hey, but it's a reason why there was a difference, right?
Yeah.
At least it fits that. Number 3, physical play built resilience. You know, they were out there playing rough and tumble like it reads here.
Remember those days when we would climb trees and wrestle and work and you always ate them so you never got fat. Remember those good old days? Amazing. Thank you.
Family responsibilities were non-negotiable. You had to be there at the table. You got to do your chores, the laundry, the dish, mowing the lawn. It wasn't just a thing you could do.
Remember those good old days?
Non-negotiable, as it says.
Absolutely. Remember those good old days? You had to go and chop down trees, guys, because we needed some firewood. So after dinner, we got to go to the wood and chop down the trees, cut them up, bring them back, and create firewood. Remember that? Amazing. That's no more. Nice.
They said the music and culture sparked individuality. You can't talk about the 60s without talking about the music. Rolling Stones, Motown, revolutionary sounds. Had
Real
people
music.
thinking different.
Not the rap crap. Amazing.
You learned the value of hard work early on. Just working hard, as this segment reads about working
That is
early.
so deep. I can honestly tell you that in growing up, I never remember a time when I didn't have to work. Even at 6, 7, 8, and 9, even if I couldn't pick a lot of cotton, I had to hang out in the cotton fields. We had to do something.
Or cooking, as it reads here, if you were the
Right.
ladies.
The ladies were cooking and baking and just, they learned how to make quilts and things like that. It wasn't just sitting around and wait for some welfare check or affirmative action or 40 acre and a mule. What the? Nice.
Limited technology meant solving problems offline. When you encountered a challenge, nowadays you just Google. Back then, you had to confront the challenge head on.
You had to use your
To summarize.
brains. You have to deal with it, and it helped you to grow up. Amazing.
And the sense of community shaped confidence. So they speak about just being a 90s kid, a 60s kid in these neighborhoods. And you recall in the neighborhoods, everybody knew each other. The kids were there out playing with each other outside all day long.
We knew everybody, Mr. Robert.
And perhaps most crucially, you grew up during an era of social change.
That was a horrible mistake. That's the downfall of America.
Maybe we'll have to forgive Melody Glass, the author of this.
Yeah,
a lady
I don't
author.
agree with the social change. It changed everything, and that's why the country is divided today. Had that never happened, America would still be united as one, even today. Amazing. Some of this stuff is fine, most of it is not. It's crap. But anyway, and one other thing I want to show you, and I've said over and over again that, and I don't hear anyone else saying this. I'm sure there's some white people who think it, but they won't say it. Except, I think my guest that's coming up on the Father's Day today, I think he said it. But we'll see. So I believe that white people are thinking it, but they won't say it because they're afraid. The superior people they've had an iron metal put on them so they can function, holding them down with words like racism and sexism and all the isms. And so the superior people, the white people, are afraid now. And as a result, the equal right people and the civil rights people are destroying the country. And there's this one word amongst many that they use, the civil rights and the equal right people, the losers, right? The weak people. There's one word they use against white people all the time. And if white people understood, if they didn't give 2 cents about this word, there's nothing that the blacks would be able to do to control you. I want to give you an example of how you should handle this word the next time somebody accuses you of saying it. Where is this coming from?
Oh, okay. This story's coming from Star Tribune, the one I showed you just a moment.
Right.
Star Tribune.
The next time someone you use this word and anyone hear you use it, and they try to go after you for using it, this would take away the influence and the so-called power of this word, because this is how they control white people with this one word. Watch this.
This Karen calls an autistic black kid 5 the N-word at a playground.
You call him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. Nobody dig into your shit.
A little kid just did.
That little kid, you call him a The little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
The fact checker identified her as Shiloh Hendricks, 36, from Rochester, Minnesota, who is unemployed after.
And the clip, it ends there. So allegedly, she's unemployed here. And this story's going nuts, Jesse, from Star Tribune here, if I may. The details for the people.
Yeah.
Video of a mom using racial slurs at a city park has gone viral, prompting shock from the community and concern from area leaders as Minnesota's third largest city deals with yet another racial incident in recent months. The video depicts a man confronting a white woman at a playground for reportedly using a slur against a black child. The woman claims the black child took something from her and her toddler. If he acts like one, then he's going to be called one, the woman could be heard saying. And so it's going viral because she also started a Give, Send, Go campaign. You're familiar with these donation websites?
Right.
And they're supporting her. Look, it looks like she's making, let's zoom in here, is that over $250,000? It looks like they've raised over $270,000.
Right on. America, you got to get past being afraid to be yourself. They're going to use this N-word against you until you do what this woman to give them the finger and F you. Well, I don't want you to F you, but give them the finger. And then that word will lose its control over you. She's right about that. I don't know if she need to say F you, but she's right. Don't let, and then this man, that's a racial word or whatever he said. That's a hate word or something. They hate speech. They have been controlling you with that one word, white people. And look how they've destroyed this country. Because you're afraid of that one word. When you stop being afraid of that word, and the worst thing you can have in your life is fear. When you stop being afraid of that word and they can't use it anymore to control you, it would disappear and they would disappear. Really. They call you anything they want to call you as white people. They don't care what they call you and they get away with it. And this guy like, oh, hate speech, you that, you call him that. Yeah. Whatever. What? Just think about it. When you are not reacting to that word, you're not afraid of it, what can they do? Amazing, huh? I tell you, white America, you better move away from these people before it's too late. I warn you. And if you doubt me, please check in with South Africa and see what happened to the whites when they waited too long to move away from the blacks. The blacks will even follow them out into the farmland in their anger and misery, in their equal right and movement, and in their civil right mentality. That anger is out of control. It has nothing to do with the white. It has everything to do with coming from the home, their mothers and grandmothers. They're yearning for the fathers and don't know it. When will you wake up? When will you take control of your own life? And taking control doesn't mean what it sounds like I'm saying. All right? But when will you become an individual again? In the way it was in the good old days when America was America. Nick, what are you telling me?
No, scratch that. I had
okay.
I had someone reacting to this, a woman saying that it was this black lady going on Twitter saying that she should go to jail for saying the N-word that way. But
no,
I can't quite get the audio going.
And black people use that word on each other all the time. And they're using it on white people. If it's a bad word, why don't they just stop using it and people will forget the word and it will disappear? If it's such a bad word. Think about that. 888-7753-773. 888-77. Jesse, one other quick example of America is now South Africa. You heard that black woman that moved to Africa, according to the report. Now she want to come back to to America. With civil right, the race is supposed to be bad. She want to come back over there in Africa with the black people. It ain't working. She can't even find any snacks. And the black people trying to rip her off because they think she got money because she's from America. And she mentioned robbing and stealing. That's happening in America with the blacks toward the whites and themselves and others. But it's the same thing that's happening here. Here's another example why white people, you better start your own, separate yourself from these people and start your own thing. Watch this from CBS Chicago. A brazen robbery in Chicago, northern suburb, was caught on camera as a Glenview couple was held up at gunpoint outside of their home. Watch this CBS Chicago report.
Surrounded by 3 men at gunpoint right outside of their home here last night, still shaken up right now. This couple is speaking out today to warn others. Here's the video.
Drop everything. Drop everything. Drop it all the money.
It's supposed to be a safe space. Monday night, it wasn't.
At first, I was like so startled that the gun is pointing in our face.
Greg Poulos and Angie Beltsos robbed at gunpoint just feet from their front door, telling me right now they still can't believe it.
I started throwing shoes and coats, and my husband was like, give him, this is everything.
You got it. You got it. Here, take it. Take it. Take everything.
You're watching exactly how it unfolded from a doorbell camera near the Glen Town Center in Glenview.
Give them what they want, and your life is far more valuable.
Giving the 3 men they say were all pointing guns at them, everything from Angie's purse to their clothing. You see one man remove Greg's jacket. They tell me it was actually worse than it looks. The entire thing wasn't caught on camera. After they were robbed,
then they had us lie down on our stomachs and pointing guns at us, and I thought, oh my gosh, is this how it's going to end today?
Amazing, huh? You've been warned. This is exactly what's happening in South Africa now. It's out of control. And the equal rights and civil rights, people who are in charge of making that happen, they brought it to, this is what they want. Because now they can pass another law that make no sense and only make things worse, and you're paying more money, taxes, for your own destruction. It's only unless you hurry up, separate from them, start your own constitution, your own area with your own government, your own police department, your own judicial system, and don't let them in. This is what's going to happen. And like that woman said, the N-word, she didn't care what they. Well, okay. The police said the man sped off. Sped out of the neighborhood, and no arrests were made. This is South Africa. Watch this from CBS.
Still in shock, less than 24 hours later.
For a moment, they were standing there and they ran off.
Glenview police say the three men sped out of the neighborhood in a Jaguar SUV. The car later found abandoned and empty in Chicago. Chicago police had nothing to share today. Glenview police wouldn't go on camera or address our questions, but say they're investigating. The couple held at gunpoint wants accountability.
Holding them accountable and hopefully preventing other incidents like this to other families.
I'm hopeful that in some way that there can be some change that is invoked from us getting on here, from these kind of events. There's some positive. Our neighbors are more alert. Perhaps our politicians and our police are a little more thoughtful of where cameras could be.
Glenview police tell me they're talking to other local police departments right now to try to connect the dots with this crew. Again, this is still being investigated right now.
Amazing. You can hope until the cows come home. It ain't going to happen. They have handicapped white Americans with the N-word, with suing them, accusing them of being racist. It ain't going to change, sir. Hope ain't going to do it. You got to start your own area now. You got to have your own police department. They don't even have police anymore. And this is why. They created the equal rights people, the civil rights people, for this reason. 888-77-53-773. Can you imagine that? It's only gonna get worse. I know y'all don't believe me, but okay, you've been warned. It ain't gonna change. You can only change a situation where you change the heart of the person. And the hardest thing in the world to do is to change the hearts of human beings. Hearts are angry, which is evil, which is hateful. And unless you want to change, only God can do that. And most people don't. 888-77-53-773. Let me go to Kareem, a first-time caller out of Virginia. Kareem, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jesse.
You too. Thank you.
Me.
Right on.
I wanted to talk about the biblical questions you had mentioned.
Can you make a conscious decision?
Yeah, and I would like to hear your thoughts on this, but I would say absolutely you can.
And how?
We are creatures that God has created in His image to be able to think and create things. You know, we are made in His image, and so we are called to think. We are called to meditate on His law day and night. It would be it's an absolute yes to that answer to that question.
And so you saying yes, you Korean out of Virginia, you can make a conscious decision?
Absolutely. I mean,
And how can you do it? I'm not saying yes or no. I put my 2 cents on Sunday, but how can you do it?
Because we're given a brain to think, right? I mean, for example, I'm the one that gets to choose whether I want to eat a mushroom pizza or a beef pizza or a pepperoni pizza. It's my decision. God is, yes, it is true that God has created us. It's also true that God is sovereign, and He is in control of all things. That's very true. Yet at the same time, God has made us as human beings to be able to think and come up with our own decisions.
And
everything will play along His will, though. Along His plan.
How do you make the decision whether you want mushroom or some other type of pizza? How do you make that decision?
I mean, that's just part of our mind processes. This is how we're called to come up with different. We'll have different scenarios in front of us, and we get to choose whether. So in the case of food, for example, it's because I enjoy it. My taste buds are receptive to it. We all have different.
But how do you, KURIAN, how do you make the decision whether you want a mushroom pizza or pepperoni pizza? How do you make that decision? Or
so
pineapple
for
pizza?
Me, yeah, so for me personally, it would be I've had it before. I tried it before since I was young. I liked it during that time. It was tasty, and that's why I have a preference for one thing over another thing.
And so how do you make the decision, though? Tell me the step that you take to make the decision of what you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like I said. I can repeat it again, but this is years long. Like when it comes to my desires or my preference for food, this is many year long processes from a young age. I loved pepperoni, and so you'll find that I tend to lean that direction because it's just good. But I know this is a weird example about food, but yeah, I mean, I personally like it. I enjoy it, and that's why I made a decision.
But you're not telling me how you take. Give me number 1, 2, and 3 step of making that decision.
Well, I mean, let me ask you, when you're asking that question, what is the alternative? Like, what do you, like, are you saying that I cannot make a decision? Like, are you saying that I'm not able to decide, hey, I want to have this pepperoni pizza?
No, I'm asking what are the 1, 2, 3 steps that you take to make that decision? You said you make your own decision, right? So what are the 1, 2, 3 steps you take to make? And I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. I just want to know how you, KURIAN or Quran?
KURIAN, that's fine.
I want to know what are the 1, 2, 3 steps you take to make that decision.
Sure, yeah. So number 1, I would center on the past. Again, I grew up
on the past.
I didn't. Sorry.
You said on the past.
Yes, I'm centering number 1 around the past.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I tasted food.
Hold on, buddy. Hold on 1 minute. Let me take a quick break. 888-7753-773. When I come back, we're going to move calls, all right? Back in a moment. Check out Punchy's Coffee. I have my own coffee now. Punchy Coffee is good. Every bag is roasted to order. Freshest flavor. Top quality. Specialty grade beans. Good. Every dime goes back to Bar, my nonprofit. And we are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. So when you're drinking coffee and enjoying it, just know you're helping somebody. Amazing coffee. Punchy has his own coffee now. What the? And it's so good. All the way from the plantation to my own coffee. Who would have thought? Did that coffee come from the plantation? Did I pick my own coffee? Check it out. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/stores, and get Punchy's Coffee. Okay, folks, welcome back. Quick announcement. I do cameos for you. Personal shout-outs. All right? Birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, congratulations, whatever. Shout-out. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. That's CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And check out our merch. Amazing merch. It's like Mamma Mia merch. Coffee. We now have Punchy's coffee. Our own coffee. Punch, can you just imagine Punchy would have his own coffee? What? And it's so good. It's delicious. I had some this morning. Punchy's coffee roasts are now here. Go to JesseLeePeterson.com/shop. JesseLeePeterson.com/shop. And while you're there, check out our merch. Amazing merch. Hats and T-shirts and mugs and sweatshirts and all kind of stuff. The amazing Tar Baby. Big Mama Michelle. When she's crying, she's lying. A man with anger is a murderer. Man or woman is a murderer. When she's crying, she's lying. She's lying. Amazing stuff. Rebuilding the man. Go to JesseLeePeterson.com/shop or rebuildingtheman.com/stores.
.shop.
It's not rebuildingtheman.stores anymore?
Rebuildingtheman.com/stores. JesseLeePeterson.shop.
Okay. What did I say before?
.com/shop.
Oh. What? JesseLeePeterson.shop and rebuildingtheman.com/stores. Amazing. All right, check it out. We have it our Sunday meeting. We do have fellowship on Sundays. You're all invited. If you're not in the LA area, you can watch it live on the internet by going to rebuildingtheman.com/church. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I want to go back to KURIAN, and he is explaining, he's responding to the biblical question, can you make a conscious decision? And he's saying yes. And so he's giving us the 3 steps it takes to make a decision. And KURIAN, what are the 3 steps you use to make a decision?
Yeah, I mean, sure, I can talk about me personally, but this is a universal thing, though. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say number 1, you focus on the past, right? I mean, I did not know how, let's say, a certain food would taste. My parents, they fed me when I was younger, and I began to find out, hey, I like this taste, and I don't like this taste. So number 1, it's sort of it's centered on the past. It's what I did not know, but then what I came to learn is a preference for me, what I enjoyed.
And number 2?
And then number 2, now that I'm in the present, I make the conscious decision. I enjoy that food. I'm going to choose that.
And number 3?
But I mean, there's really those 2 things. But
okay.
To be honest with you, Jesse, I do believe that this is. I mean, I don't even know if this is sure. I think consciousness is something that philosophers throughout generations have asked. This is really not. I wouldn't even say this is a biblical question. It's not even. It's just a question that people throughout the ages will ask, but Christians do center on it, and I wouldn't doubt that you and I would disagree on this because I am a Christian, and I know you said that you have a church. I heard your ad that you have a church. I looked into that one time. And I'm sorry to say, but that's not. I would not say that's church. I say that in love. I don't say that to hate you. I say it in love. That it's not. That's not church, right? Like.
Now, what is church?
Church is when the congregation of believers come together and worship God together. Paul in his letters often says to the Christians, do not neglect the meeting of the saints. It's when believers who worship God, they come together, they worship God in spiritual songs together, they pray together, and then they hear a sermon, not the ramblings of a singular man, but about the Word of God. It's an expository study of the Scriptures.
How do you know that?
Understanding what the Bible says.
How do you know that?
How do I know what exactly?
That's what Paul meant.
Well, if you're saying that it's your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth, I mean,
No,
I
asked you, how do you know that that's what Paul meant?
Because we can know what the Bible says. We can know the authorial intent.
How do you know that's what Paul meant?
Because we can know that's what it says.
How?
It's kind of like
how?
Because we can read and we can study. We can go to the original Hebrew. We can go to the original Aramaic, and we can go to the original Greek.
And so you believe by just reading something, you would know the truth?
Absolutely, but it's not
How
just
would you
reading.
know the truth just by reading?
So it's not just reading; it's actually studying it. So, like, to any of my friends, I would never say, "Hey, just read the Bible and you'll be good in life." No, like, you should actually study the Bible. When the Bible says in Psalms 1, meditate on the Scriptures day and night. It's not just saying to read it. It's meditation, not in the sense of like an Eastern mystical kind of.
So if studying is good, why does the Bible say too much study make the heart weary?
If you're talking about Proverbs, though, that's a different context.
No, I'm asking if studying is a good thing, why would it tell you that too much studying make the heart weary?
Because that's a different context. You're talking about Proverbs, right? Like what you just quoted there, was that from Proverbs? Do you know where it comes from?
No, I just know it's there. Well, let me ask: so you're a Christian, right?
Yes.
And you go to church and you worship the Lord, right?
Yes.
Do you have perfect peace?
Do I have perfect peace? I mean, it's a peace. I mean, I have found that in my trials, God has given. I mean, this is what the Bible says, that it's a peace that surpasses understanding. Yes, we go through trials. Yes, we have anxiety, and yes, we have troubles. If you deny that, I mean, would you deny that like that's a normal part of the human
Do you have perfect peace?
Well, yes, it's a peace that surpasses understanding. So though I do struggle sometimes, and I have troubles with let's say when things don't happen according to plan, and then I have some anxiety, I'm called to go to God and pray to Him. Yes, I do. If you're saying that, am I like a stoic person and I never feel any feelings? No, I'm not a stoic person. I do struggle sometimes with anxieties, anger, all kinds of things like that.
Do you have perfect peace?
Well, I've already. When you say perfect peace, why don't you define that?
Do you have perfect peace?
Can you define that?
You are a Christian. You say you worship God. You go to church and you get rid of with other people and you worship God. And so the question is, do you have perfect peace?
Well, yes, I have a supernatural peace that comes upon me in trials. Yes.
Do you have perfect peace?
I do have a peace that surpasses understanding. That is what the Bible says.
You're not answering my question for some reason.
I mean, can you explain what you mean? Are you saying that I don't feel any other feelings?
Do you have perfect peace?
Well, I mean, when I say explain, I don't mean to repeat. I'm asking, can you explain what does perfect peace mean to you?
You don't know what perfect peace means?
I want to know what you mean by it.
Do you know the difference between conflict and peace?
Conflict and peace?
Yes.
Yeah. There are two different. I mean, are you saying, so I have conflict in life.
So do you have conflict or you have peace?
I have both.
How can you have both? You can't serve two gods. How can you have both?
But when you said serve two gods, that was referring to money as an idol and God as, I mean, that has nothing to do with this.
How can have conflict and perfect peace?
When David says, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you, he is having fear. There are many times where David cries out to God in anxiety and in despair.
Let me
but he
say you
trusted God.
this because it's Black Friday and not Bible Thumper Thursday. If you can answer that for me, but I do want you to call me back on Bible Thumper Thursday, and I have a little bit more time with you. But how can you serve two gods? The God of conflict and the God of peace. How can you serve two?
But I don't believe the God of conflict is a God. But let me answer your question though. I can have conflict and peace at the same time, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because when I do have conflicts and I have these trials and troubles that happen to me, I do as a human being struggle with those things. But I'm led to the scriptures. I'm led to go back to the scriptures, and I see what people have done before me, and that is call out to God. And God gives me a peace that surpasses understanding.
What does that mean, surpasses understanding? God doesn't want you to understand the peace that you have?
Well, I'm quoting what the Bible says.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, what it actually means, though, not just to me, but what it actually means to it's a supernatural peace.
What does that mean to you to have peace that surpasses understanding? What does that mean to you?
I'm telling you right now, but I'm saying that it's a supernatural peace.
So are you saying you have a peace that you don't understand?
No. It's not that I'm saying it surpasses understanding. It goes beyond understanding. And what I'm trying to say is it's supernatural. It's what God provides to the believer when they are in trouble.
So let me ask it, and then I gotta run because of time. Did Christ come to bring you conflict and peace, or did he come to bring you peace?
He came to bring both, and I'll give you the reason why.
He came to bring conflict to you?
Absolutely. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Jesus himself, he actually prophesied that if you are of him, there will be persecution, that Christians will be persecuted. There is conflict with being a Christian.
Where did it say, I came to bring you conflict?
Oh, I mean, I can go ahead and give you a verse here. Let me see, Jesus. And by the way, thank you for giving me a chance to speak to you. Okay. Let's go to Matthew 10, 34 to 36. Matthew 10, 34 to 36. This is what it says. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
I know about all that, but where did he say, I came to bring you conflict? You can find where he said, I came to bring you peace, but where did it say, I came to bring you conflict?
No, it said, do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. He's not coming to bring peace to the earth.
He brought you peace. Where did it say?
But I just read to you that Jesus says that I did not come to bring peace to the earth. I just read it to you.
How about when he said, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you?
Yeah.
You just kind of, you throwing that out the window?
No, and that's why I said it's both.
But where did he say he came to bring you conflict?
But I just showed you right here. It says, do not think I have come to bring peace to the earth. And the point is...
But we talk about the earth. I'm talking about you, the individual, the person. Where did he say he came to bring you conflict?
But when it's saying earth, it's referring to everybody, right? It's talking about, man against his father, a daughter against her mother.
But that's not conflict. He came to divide you from that conflict, not to bring it. But listen, I got to run.
Can I finish my statement before you leave? Though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm just trying to say that it's both because it's two different contexts. Like in this particular one, there is persecution with trusting in God. There is persecution with being a Christian. And so there is conflict with that. But we also saw.
But you don't have any. You don't have any persecution for being a Christian. You have none.
I mean, I won't delve into my own personal life, like whether I
Right.
do or do not.
I don't blame
But
you.
I won't go into that, like whether I have it or not. That I'll keep that to myself. But I do want to go into the scripture because that's the standard here.
But
it is also it is also true that Jesus does give us peace, and it's a peace that surpasses understanding. It's a supernatural peace that in our trials.
Well, you keep
in our
quoting
troubles-
that, but you don't know what that means. It sounds
No, no,
like
I'm
you're
explaining-
saying Jesus came to give you peace that you won't even understand,
I'm
right?
explaining. I'm explaining it. I'm just saying that in our trials, in our conflict, in our trouble, in our despair, that when we are in the valley of the shadow of death, it says that yet you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me.
But you don't know what that
Jesus
means.
is with us. Well, when I'm telling you,
All
what it
you're
means, I'm
doing is
telling you that
quoting a
in our-
scripture, but you don't understand it. Do you still have anger?
No, I do understand it, and that's why I've been trying to explain it to you.
Do you still have
and that
anger?
in our trouble, Jesus is with us as our shepherd. But I do want to thank you for your time, Jesse. I just that you know, I'm a medical student. I have a lot of disagreements with the liberal world on abortion and LGBTQ plus policies and all that, and I'd love to have a conversation with you one day. But
Okay.
it's really good talking to you.
Do you still have anger?
I mean, I absolutely I would struggle with anger. Yes.
You
But
have
it would
have
be sin.
anger?
Yes. It would
Why
be
don't
sin
you
that I would
drop
have
it?
to-
Why don't you drop your anger right now?
It would be a supernatural work of God for me to do that. So I don't have any anger right now. I'm just saying.
No,
that,
you do
let's say
have anger
someone-
right now. You have anger. You have it right now. You're just not. It's not. You're not feeling it right now, but it's there. Why don't you drop anger? Is anger of God?
The Bible says no one is righteous, no, not one.
Is
First John
anger
goes into
of
the fact
is
that if
anger
you
of
believe-
God?
Are you saying it's a just anger?
No, I'm
I mean, I believe
asking
that-
you. I'm asking: is the anger that you have is that of God?
I mean, I sin, so there are times where I have had
The
bitterness or
anger
hatred or
that you
jealousy.
have is that of God.
Not always. always.
The anger that you have is that of God.
Not always. And when it's not of God,
Correct.
then I have to repent. I have to repent of my
Correct.
sins.
The
with my
anger
faith
that
in
you
Christ.
have is that of God.
Right now, I have no anger. But
Correct.
when I am angry,
The anger that you have is that of God.
not always. Right?
So,
like if I'm against
so are you
abortion,
saying sometimes your anger is of God and sometimes it's of Satan?
that's correct. Because when I'm
Okay.
going against
so
abortion,
you serve two gods.
that's actually not true.
You said
I mean-
sometimes
I
it's
mean-
of Satan and sometimes it's of God. So it sounds like
would
you're
you-
serving two gods. Am I right?
Would you claim that Paul the apostle was serving two gods when
Correct.
he said
You
the
said that
battle of the flesh-
sometimes your anger is of God and sometimes of Satan. You're saying you serve two gods. Am I right or wrong?
not Satan. And first of all, sin is
If
not
it's
God.
not of God, who
of
is it
myself.
of?
It's myself.
So
I
you
am the
create
blame.
create your own anger.
Yes, we the three enemies of the Christian are self, the world, and Satan.
Amazing.
You can't always
Korean,
blame
call me
Satan.
again. I gotta run now because of time. Call me again.
It was great meeting you, but I hope you repent of your sins, put your faith in Christ. There's a lot of differences.
Thank you.
In that we have. I mean that in love. I really do.
I
mean
can
that in love.
tell. No, I see.
Yeah,
it.
because I'm just letting you know that you deny the Trinity. You go against. a
No,
lot
you
of Christian
still
doctrine.
trying to talk the Bible, and I don't have time.
Okay, I'm sorry, but it was great meeting you. Justin.
Yeah, call me
And
again.
I'd love to talk to you as a med student on the medical side of things. I'd love to have a discussion.
I would love that. Call me again.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Okay. Super chat. Super.
Super chats. Anthony on Cash App. That's Bond JLP Cash App.
Nice.
Good morning, Jesse and crew. It is Black Funky Friday.
Black Friday. I love black people. Amazing. The blacks.
General Samuel C. Fields on pilled.net says he gifted a shades and says, "Welcome to the foxhole."
Right on. Thank you.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Jesse, says Sion, where tractor emoji, black farmer emoji with a pitchfork. Where is the wood bear? You're black. You're so black. All I see is your polo shirt. I'm so black. All you see is my teeth in the dark. Smileys emoji. Various
Amazing.
emojis.
Turn the lights out and you won't see me. Oh, amazing. Thank you, CI.
Mikey Baseball 93 gifted the cookie. Thank you, sir.
I like the cookie. Thank you.
Rasta on Pilled says, welcome to Pilled, Jesse Lee Peterson. We may not be numbered greatly here, but we are dedicated.
Right on. Stay with us, stay with us, stay with us. Amazing. Thank you.
Marty, happy Friday, everyone. Heart. Much love, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Amazing. Thank you.
Takeout 1122 gifted a super chat with no message. Thank you kindly.
Amazing. Thank you.
Uncle Ruckus, somewhere in the hood today.
People gotta stand up tall. Amazing. Thank you.
California Viking, I found my white privilege. It was under my combat boots. American flag emoji.
Nice.
Chase in Texas, I'm putting $10 on black, getting worse in the near future. Not all, not all.
Not all, not all, not all, but most. What a mess.
Much grass, Chase.
It's so amazing that it's happening and it's going to get worse. What a mess.
Uncle Ruckus, put the blacks on the back of the boat. Boat emoji. Funny.
Nice.
And Hannah's 7 coffees watching the Not Me. Thank you, Jesse.
Hannah, stay with us. Stay
Hannah's.
with us. What?
Hannah's.
Hannah's. Right?
Hannah's.
Hannah's.
Yeah.
Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with it. Amazing.
Thank you, Hannah's. Pastor Chatelet gifted the ship. All aboard. Back to Africa cruises. Escape Trump. Bring your own snacks, though. Ain't no snacks in Africa. LOL. What the?
What a mess. Thank you. I got to take a break there.
We'll read the rest later, guys.
When I come back, Phil, I'm going straight to your call. I can't believe this time go by there. Like nothing going on. Hate news, not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. Right to your phone call. And we're going to finish Super Chat as well. Back in a moment.
Like my cousin, like sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole like everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that he showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. This because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. And I try to tell them, like, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us and all is well.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world, such as the righteous alien enemies act is under attack, and Mike Waltz going to the UN. He's out of the Homeland Security or whatever he was. I forget what he was. Department of Defense or something. Secretary of State under type of guy. Anyway, a Gaza mess going on over there. And real ID. Do you have your real ID yet? I thought everybody had to have their real ID. Real ID because we have a bunch of fake illegal aliens allowed to come in and get driver licenses and mess. Can you believe it? And now your driver licenses and IDs from the state are worthless because now you got to have a quote-unquote real ID to fly, making everybody's life more complicated. And Katanji Onyeka Brown Jackson running her mouth as usual, calling it an attack when Trump is talking about these degenerate, evil, ridiculous, out-of-line so-called judges who are trying to stop him from enforcing the immigration law. Get out of here. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Black Friday. Lines are full, guys. You can call in every so often, though, just in case a line opens up. All right? It is Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thehakereport.com. That's my show, live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. on the Hake Report channels. Thank you kindly. And then after that, no Joel Friday on Friday, but it will be The Fallen State on Jesse Lee Peterson's channels, or The Fallen State TV on YouTube. Also, The Fallen State on Rumble. It is uploaded there very cleanly. Check it out. And then after that, American Anchor, baby. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports a federal so-called judge in Texas. Did he do the right thing? He ruled Thursday President Trump had unlawfully invoked the Alien Enemies Act. He did not do the right thing. This so-called judge. To speed up the deportations, we need to get these people out of here. It's a national emergency, and it's been so for decades. Trump is the only one to treat it like it is. It was the first time a so-called judge has concluded that the president has exceeded his authority by relying on a law intended to be used during times when the U.S. was at war, and we are indeed at war. There's a war waged against America. U.S. District Judge Fernando Rodriguez was appointed by Trump. Can you believe it? He also blocked the administration from using the law to deport quickly any alleged members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua within his district. The president cannot summarily declare that a foreign nation or government has threatened or perpetrated an invasion or predatory incursion of the United States, followed by identification of the alien enemies subject to detention or removal. So said this Rodriguez. We need to fire whoever told Trump to hire this guy. The Trump administration is now examining whether they can label suspected cartel and gang members as enemy combatants in order to detain them more easily and limit their ability to challenge their imprisonment. What a mess, huh? Maybe we need to deport that judge, throw him in jail if he is going to violate our freedom and right to enforce our laws. Degenerate. In the first major state staff shakeup since Trump took office in January, he announced National Security Advisor Mike Waltz would be his nominee for U.S. Ambassador to the United States. He's being reassigned because he's the one who, or somebody in his staff maybe, looped in that so-called journalist on that Houthi attack. White House pulled Representative Elise Stefanik's nomination in March amid concerns about slim margins in the U.S. Congress, House of Representatives. Mike Waltz's, not Tim Waltz, oh my gosh. Mike Waltz's nomination comes just 2 months after he and other top administration officials discussed that Houthi attack on that signal thing and looped in the degenerate from the Atlantic, not a Christian. The conversation included a journalist, and so Waltz will be temporarily replaced by little Marco Rubio. Shout out to him, who's the Secretary of State. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP. Hour 3.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question, can you make a conscious decision? Can you make a conscious decision? An amazing question. And yes, it is a biblical question. What the? Can you make a conscious decision? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can also podcast all the shows if you're busy and you can't sit and watch. You can listen and watch on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. Go and buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk /JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Thursday. No, it's not. It's Friday. What the? It's Friday. And because we love the blacks every Friday, and we take all calls though, every Friday is Black Friday. This is the way it used to be, the way it was. And this is the way I love the blacks.
You do make disparaging remarks towards black people.
Be black.
I want to make sure we agree on that first.
No, we disagree.
Hold on.
I want to ask.
Well, and the things that you do, I just like I say, I want to hate you, but something won't let me.
Hey,
what?
What's wrong with the blacks? What's wrong with the blacks? 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. I want to go to Corey, a first-time caller out of Texas. Corey, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you. Good morning to you and happy Black Friday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I want to answer that biblical question as well.
Can you make a conscious decision?
Yes, sir. I believe you can by taking accountability.
Taking accountability for what?
For taking responsibility for your choices and just learning to deal with it.
And how do you take accountability for your choices?
If you make a bad decision, just live with the outcome.
Have you ever made a decision?
Yes, I have.
And how did you make that decision? What steps did you take to make that decision?
Just made it. What steps did I take to make that decision? Something in me told me to do it, and I did it.
Speak up a little bit.
Something in me, within me, whether it was good or bad, told me to make that decision.
But I thought you said you made that decision.
Yes, I did.
What steps did you take to make a decision?
I moved my legs. I moved my arm.
How do you make decisions? You just said you make decisions. I asked what are the steps you take to make a decision, and then you said something in you made the decision. Which one is it?
Right. I physically made a decision.
And how did you do it?
Okay, I made a decision to move my arms to lift a dumbbell. That was a positive decision.
And how did you make that decision, though? What are the steps? What are the steps you took? Number 1, 2, 3 steps you took to make that decision.
To move my arms?
Uh-huh.
Well, I thought about it, and my body reacted to my thoughts.
You thought about it?
Yes, sir.
So did you make that decision, or your thoughts made that decision?
I made it.
And how? What are the steps?
My thoughts, my body, and my actions are one. So,
But you're not telling me how do you create and make a decision? How do you do that?
I don't really have that real answer right there. I mean, we're all born to do things that we don't know how we do it.
And so if you don't know how you do it, why do you say you do it?
Because I made that decision. I thought about it. My body reacted, and it happened.
But if you don't know how you do it, why do you say you do it?
Because I am.
You am what?
I am who I say I am and think I am.
Who are you?
I do.
Who are you?
I am. That's the answer. I am.
You am what?
I'm not you, but I am who I am.
And who are you?
That's the answer.
And who are you?
I am a living being that thinks, that reacts to my thoughts.
So you think and then you react to your thoughts?
That's pretty much how it works, yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Corey.
Is there any kind of,
is
there any other way?
Yeah. But I really appreciate you responding to the biblical question, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Let me go to KIRK out of Las Vegas. KIRK, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was digging into your claim that white people are superior.
I'm sorry?
And it turns out when you were claiming that white people are superior,
right?
That's your claim. It turns out I agree with you. White men dominate in engineering. They dominate in technical fields. They dominate in sustainability fields. They dominate in oil rigging. They dominate in basically all sustainable and dangerous job fields that keep this system going. And without that, I think we'd collapse. So I agree with that statement.
Amazing. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. It is. I appreciate you saying that, because then I was looking into it, and then it's like, oh, wow, a light bulb comes on.
Yeah.
Because we're conditioned to hate each other, to hate, especially the anti-white movement and the later generations. We're conditioned to think that we're evil. We're conditioned to think that we're slave owners. We're these evil people. And it turns out, man, we've been running this thing, and we're actually godly people.
Amazing, huh? Well, right on, man.
Like,
I have a picture I want to show you and everybody of why white people need to hurry up and separate from the equal rights and civil rights people. They need to separate, because if they separate and create their own government, their own constitution, their own police department, their own everything, and don't let the civil rights and equal rights people in, America has a chance. But if they don't do it, it's over for America. I want you to see this amazing picture of America and the people who are going to keep it going if given a chance. Watch this.
Which one, Jesse?
This is the one with Elon Musk and the Doge people. They all, Jesse Waters met with them last night at one of their Doge meetings, and it's a bunch of white males, smart white males, very bright, and they remind me of the good old days of the men who founded and created the greatest country on this side of heaven. And when I saw this image, I'm like, they're still out there, they're still there, but they're just not allowed to function. Elon Musk is giving them the chance, and they're going to have to separate from the whites. And it's mostly white guys and one or two non-white guy, but not black, in there too. One of these guys said that he was a Harvard student and he dropped out of school, out of Harvard, in order to work with Elon Musk on this Doge thing he's done, event. Watch this.
Big balls.
It's big. That should be obvious.
Why do they call you big balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Okay.
Well, people on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Big Ball. Y'all heard about Big Ball, right? There he is. Everybody been wondering who is Big Ball. But it's these type of white people that made America, made it great, and keep it going, but they're not going to be able to do it if they don't separate from the equal right and the civil rights people.
Yeah, and well, that too, but we need to stay the majority as well, and we're losing that as well.
Yeah.
Part
Right.
of it.
That's why you need more white babies.
Right.
And start having all these abortions.
Right, and the replacement rate in general is already extremely low.
Yeah.
And so that's for all cultures. But yeah, white people need to step their game up.
Yeah, they need to stop the birth control and all that mess. Start by having white babies so that America will have a chance. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Let me go to Fritz out of Florida. Fritz, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I wanted to answer the biblical question.
Can you make a conscious decision?
No, I can't. Can I explain?
And why do you say you can't?
Honestly, listening to you just now, well, not just now, listening to the show, I just realized something, right? I was in my head. I was just in my head talking to somebody. I don't know who I was talking to, but I could see myself in my head, like, at this place. And I'm just talking. So, I don't know. I guess I said something, and I just turned my head. And instantly when I turned my head, I'm like, wait a minute. Who am I talking to, right? As if I'm talking to the person, literally, like as if I'm talking to somebody that's next to me. There's nobody around me right now. So right there, it blew my mind. So I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me this whole time? Because I do talk to myself.
You talk to yourself?
Yeah.
Are you delusional?
I think so. I think so, really. I do,
what now?
But I just really, I'm like, so this whole time, I'm talking to myself, I feel like I was in the present, honestly. But when I came out of it, and there's nobody around me, I'm like, holy crap, I think I'm serving two masters here.
Yeah.
Because why is it that when I'm with one, there's nothing, right? Because I've been there. I've been to that place of nothing. But then when I drift to the other one, it's like I'm present, but I'm not. So when I come out of it, I'm like, I think that's what Jesse meant when he said the power of illusion or delusion. The mind really would have me think that I am somewhere when I'm really not. So when I do come out of it, I'm like, what? It just freaks me out, right? So now I'm thinking like, this has been me this whole time, my whole life. And by me seeing it, when I seen it, I kept getting attacked. Right after it, I kept getting attacked with the thought. So I'm like, so then how come if I'm seeing the thoughts, if I'm seeing my delusion, why is it still attacking me when I come out of it? Like 1 second later, it'll just come with another thought. I'm like, yo, I just realized you had me in this little fake space this whole time. And when I came out of it, you're still trying to attack me. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, this whole time I have never made a decision by myself. You know, 'cause the whole time I've been being controlled. Like, it's literally somebody in my head controlling me. Like, my every movement. I'm turning my head this way. I'm turning my head that way. I'm like, why am I turning my head? Why am I moving my body for no reason? I'm literally sitting down. I'm just trying to be still. Why am I like, you feel me? Like, why am I here? Why am I there? So, with all that being said, like, yeah, I don't think I've ever made a decision on my own. And yes, I am now. I'm realizing I am serving two masters. But I want to ask you.
Well, let me just say this about. I'll put my little 2 cents in on the biblical question on Sunday. Amazing. Go ahead.
I want to ask you because now that I'm realizing I'm serving two masters. Okay, like how? What's next after that? Like
nothing.
I'm realizing
it is all you should or need to do. If you do anything other than realize it, it's not going to change. But if you just realize it and do nothing about it, it will change.
So, okay. So if I do something about it, by me doing something about it, that's what trying to figure it out, trying to understand it, talk to it. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Try to deny it, get mad, fight with it, or anything.
Yeah.
All you need to do is see it. And seeing it, which is the light of God, will change it. It will take it away from you. And you will only have one God.
Okay. That was my next question. So how would I get to that God of nothing? The other master, my creator, my true creator. How can I get to him?
By seeing the false God.
Okay, gotcha. So that's what I'm doing there.
Right on. You stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, all right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
All right. Good to hear from you, Fritz.
You too. Blessings to you and the whole crew.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Canada and talk to first-time caller Justin out of Canada. Justin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well, sir.
Recently I've got suspended from school.
Nice.
A comment because I have a friend who has a girlfriend who I heard from someone that she likes black men. So then I said, as a joke, right, that she likes dark chocolate. And then the school said that it was sexually and racially charged.
What? So are you in high school?
Yes.
What grade?
Grade 11.
And so how did the school know you said it?
Because they interviewed two other people, and then those two people said Jalen said it, but just as a joke, right?
Right. So you and I guess two other people hanging around, you made a joke, but how did the administration find out you made a joke?
Because the vice principal interviewed my friend said to the vice principal that Jalen made a sexually and racially charged statement, and then they interviewed two other people that were in the area.
Oh,
I said it.
So your friend that you made this joke with went and told the vice principal?
Yes.
Really? And were you surprised that your friend would do that?
Not really, because in the past he has told on other people for making jokes, but he has also made much worse jokes about me and my other friends. But we haven't told the school.
And so if there have been signs, you've seen these signs in this person, why would you keep them as a friend? Why do you let them go a long time ago?
Because I sometimes read the Bible and it's saying that I should forgive him and that I should see past that and then give him another chance, right?
No, you should forgive him, but you should be done with him. Once you see your enemy, I don't care who it is, once you see your enemy, don't resent them, forgive them. They cannot help themselves, but you be done with them because they're going to destroy you if you keep them around.
Okay, I understand now, Jesse.
Yeah.
So what should I do now in this situation?
How long are you suspended for?
2 days.
Oh, well, just relax. Be glad that you were thrown out. Don't regret it. Don't be angry about it. Have some fun your next 2 days. And just realize it's a lesson in there for you. This person that's supposed to be your friend, don't be angry, but be done with them.
Yeah. Okay, I understand.
And go back to school. Have fun.
Another thing, should I not report him calling my father a child predator?
He called your father that?
Yeah, because my dad has like a big age difference between my mom, right? Like my mom's 40 and he's 60.
Right. And he said that to you?
Yeah.
And no, I wouldn't. Don't try to get revenge against anyone.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I don't want to like get him in trouble.
Yeah, no. The one thing I want you to learn, two things. Number one, always forgive. That doesn't mean you don't speak up and all that, but never, ever, 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 but never. There's never, ever a reason to be angry. All right?
Yeah.
And so forgive, but you can speak up when you need to. But never try to get revenge against anyone, because what they're doing to you, they're doing it to themselves, and I promise you, revenge will happen to them on its own. You don't need to do it.
Okay.
So just wish this person well, and don't hang out with him anymore. Don't play with him anymore. Don't talk to him anymore. Just be done with him. But don't be angry.
Okay. He also reported to the school that I drink too much and smoke too much, but I only do it occasionally.
Right. That's another reason to be done with him. This guy is too much into your business.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So should my other friends be done with him, or should they like try to like rehabilitate him?
Well, no, you can't rehabilitate anyone. Only God can do that. Only God can change another person's heart. And most human beings do not want a heart change. They love their misery. They love their own misery. They love their anger. They love their emotions. They love their doubts. They love their revenge. They love their jealousy. But if your friends, you can't make your friends do it. But if they don't, I promise you they will regret it.
Okay.
Because you're not the only one that he's doing this to and will do it to. So that's up to your friends. You can't do anything about that.
Okay.
I wish you well, man. Let me know how it goes.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse. I'll tell you how it goes.
All right, buddy. I wish you well. Thank you. What a mess. Here's another reason that white people need to separate from the blacks. I showed you that over there in Glen Park, there in Chicago, where the couple were robbed right in front of their home. Right in front of their home, white people. This is only, if you all knew the real crime and the misery that the blacks are bringing up on America, no, but more, it will blow your mind. They're not telling you the whole story. They rarely let you know it's a black person anyway, but they're not telling you the whole story. It's bad. It will scare you if you knew the real deal. But they want the blacks doing it, so they don't want this corrected, and so they're not going to tell you. This is from CBS Chicago. No, that's not the one. This is from ABC Chicago. I want you to see the cover-up, all right? William Holmes is charged in the Austin, Chicago stabbing that killed 25-year-old Emily Carson near the Central CTA Green Line station on Thursday. A man and Emily Carson were arguing and fighting with a 54-year-old Willie Holmes. When Holmes took out a knife and stabbed Emily in the back. Watch this from ABC 7.
A 54-year-old man is now being charged for killing of a woman near a West Side CTA station. Police say Willie Holmes stabbed a 25-year-old woman near the Green Line station at Central and Lake on Thursday. She later died from her injuries. Holmes is charged with 1 count of first-degree murder.
Amazing, huh? It's happening every day, folks. Everywhere. It doesn't matter blue or red state. It doesn't matter. Here's an image of Emily Carson. Here's her picture. According to the report, she's stabbed in the back by this black man. According to the report, and allegedly. See that? You see the black man? There he is. She was 25 years old. Amazing, huh? Now, do y'all believe me when I say you need to separate? Or not yet? Amazing, huh? White people, you are hated for no reason. Zero reason. Zero reason. All lies made up about slavery and Jim Crow and all that. But that's been done by the equal rights people. And they created a bunch of other equal rights people and civil rights people who think that they need programs and money. And they always passes laws to say that they're going to make things better, but they only get worse. And you end up paying money for it and your life. And your life. Super chat. Super chat.
Super chats. I was remiss in my duty to read a couple of yesterday's super chats. A few. Stop the Cap says, if the declaration says all men are created as equal, but the Constitution says blacks were seen as 3/5 of a human, how can you say someone is inferior for wanting equal rights? While you were growing up, if it said in a contract a house or neighborhood could not be sold to black people, that is not equal rights. That's considered housing discrimination. I've noticed you are not saying anything out of your mouth, and people clap and believe you. Says Stop the Cap with the coffee.
Amazing. Thank you, Stop the Cap.
Very nice, man.
Amazing. Yeah.
A lot of people confused about that stuff. Ronnie in Ohio, Uncle Jesse, yesterday when I asked, are white people superior to black people? And you said they are not, but the black people think so. Today you told Ron from Texas that white people are superior. So now I'm sitting here like, what the? Eyes emoji.
Ron, they are.
Are you being double-minded? Which is it?
No, they're superior, but they have been held. They've been kept down. They have had a piece of iron put on them to keep them down so that the equal right people, the civil right people can look superior, and they're not. Thank you, Ron. Let me take a quick break.
Treasure Chest is opening on D Live.
Treasure Chest
we'll read the rest later, guys.
Open. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Okay, welcome back. That story about that young white 25-year-old white girl getting stabbed in the back and killed, allegedly by William Holmes, was shocking. It was shocking, but they don't want you to know. They don't want you to hear white stories where white people are being killed like this, robbed and stuff like that. It was a shocking story. But the equal right people, the civil rights people don't want you to know what's happening to white people. Because that's how they make money and power, get your tax dollars and things like that. The Hake Report coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And after the Hake Report, brand new episode of The Fallen State today at 11 a.m. An amazing conversation with Joe Stout. And Joe is CEO of 2 companies, homeschool advocate, and traditional Christian educator. And guess what? He white with 10 children. But Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
White people are going to become the minority in America, and that's the last thing we need to happen. It's over for America if that should happen.
America certainly can't continue as America unless you have your founding stock that stays here. If the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants go away, then what you had to begin with fundamentally disappears.
Absolutely.
We want to be altruistic. It's kind of in our nature, and yet we'll do so at the expense of ourselves.
Amazing, huh? At 11 a.m. Pacific time, thefallenstate.tv. And you can become a member of The Fallen State right there on YouTube or thefallenstate.tv or locals.com. You can support us in that way. I do appreciate it. Then the American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. On fire. You don't want to miss today's episode, by the way. Oh, Lord. Why, George? Oh, Lord. Amazing. And fellowship on Sunday. We do have fellowship every Sunday. Amazing fellowship, too. Go to rebuildingaman.com/church. Sundays at 11 a.m. Doors open at 10:30. Come on down. And at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right? Amazing stuff. Trying to point you back to the Father. Life, salvation is of the heart, and a return to the Father. A return to the Father. Amazing. So let me do this. I want to do a few more of these super chats. And then I want to get back to the phone calls.
Nice.
Super.
Nikki bought a very generous 10 coffees saying amazing.
Amazing.
Thanks as always, Nikki. Eric bought a very generous 100 coffees on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, by the way.
Thank you, Eric. That's amazing.
Thank God for the United States. Thank God for Trump and for the Jesse Lee Peterson Show and crew. Life is amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, and thank you for your support. I totally, really appreciate you helping us to help others without me having to even ask. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. Jesse, just want to thank you, Hake Report, Joel Friday, Anchor Baby, and the rest of the crew. Your network is amazing, and if Satan's children would just shut up and listen, they will too see the truth.
That's right. But most people, as always in human nature, most people do not want the truth. They love the lie. They love the thrills. Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tater Tate, if ever Maze needed to forgive her mama, do the silent prayer. She needs to do it now.
Maze. Maze is our friend from Ohio. Hey, Maze. What the? Maze, do you like mildly attractive? The Hake Report. What does that mean, mildly attractive?
You know, like not excessively attractive, but, mildly attractive.
Do you like mildly attractive women or?
Of course.
Or very attractive women?
Both. I love all women. I'm a Christian.
That's right. Amazing. Thank you.
Mr. Zoe.
How can they get this shirt?
Over, if you go to thehakereport.com and there's a link to the shop.
Nice.
In the menu.
I'm not going to comment on the shirt fitting or not. You finally wore a grown-up shirt.
Yeah, I know. I wore a large.
A grown-up shirt.
And some might say it doesn't look as good as a medium, but I can tell you it feels more comfortable than a medium.
I bet it does.
Mr.
What now? Okay.
Mr. So gifted the can. JLP on Pilled. Amazing.
Amazing.
Terry, in answer to the
Thank you,
biblical
by the way.
question. Yeah.
Can you make a conscious decision?
I can only make conscious decisions. If I'm not conscious, it isn't me making it. Whoa, dizzy falling over emoji.
Amazing. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
5 coffees from Elizabeth. Hola, Jesse. Heart
Hola.
emojis. Dime lo que. Remember the good old days when you were a kid, ran around barefoot without a care? Now we try to do that as adults, and we got beta feet. Upside down smile emoji, laughing faces with tears sideways.
That's for sure. What a mess.
Eric.
Nice. Thank you.
3 coffees. The blacks use Nicaragua to terrorize, to make people uncomfortable. By Nicaragua, he means like the N-word. To get someone fired, to be violent, to play victim, to create chaos.
It's so unfortunate. We showed you the good old days when blacks had common sense, and the now is a mess. Thank you.
Yeah. Soul Conscious 3 coffees. Jesse, biblical question?
Can you make a conscious decision?
No, decisions are made when you are unconscious. I just do what is in front of me to do and not think about it.
Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents on Sunday. I want to encourage the blacks, really pull away from the crowd, go within and see what's going on with you. Drop the anger. Anger, anyone has anger is evil. That's why you're carrying out evil acts. Drop the anger, the evil acts will stop as well. And you drop the anger by forgiving your mothers and grandmothers, return to your father. Every human being needs to do that. It's not just the blacks, it's everyone. I really want to encourage you to do that, but it's up to you. Thank you.
Paola says, Happy Black Friday, star eyes emoji.
Amazing. Thank you.
Happy
Black Friday.
Bert Cocaine gifted a can on pilled.net. Amazing.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Shout out to Pastor Chatelet, Tarantula, Old Saucy, Commander Kim, and many others, including DJT 2020 over on the Rumble crew, your monthly subscribers. That's cool.
Shout out. Thank you. I got to stop there for a minute.
We'll read the rest later, guys.
Absolutely. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Aaron out of Maryland. Aaron, you on the air. Thank you for holding. Hey, Aaron.
Hello?
You're on the air.
How are you?
All is well.
I was calling today because I'm having trouble with the idea that I'm not in control. So I think I've heard you before say that I've never made a decision. Not me, but nobody has ever made a decision.
Right.
Is that true?
Yes.
So the only thing that I just want to use that to feel like I've never done anything wrong, but I don't really understand what you're saying. I can't understand what that means. How did I not make a decision? Because I was doing things.
But how did you make the decision that caused you to do the things that you've done?
How did I make the decision?
Yes.
Thinking.
What?
I didn't want to say thinking because I know I listen so much, so I know I already know. I'm thinking about now when you say that about how all thoughts are all lies. So I didn't want to say that, but yes, by thinking. That's how I.
So you made the decision, or thinking made the decision?
Thinking made the decision then.
So then why do you say you made the decision?
Because that's usually how I operated. And to figure out things, I think. I go.
But you've never figured out anything. Everything you figured out have been wrong, or you have to go redo it.
But sometimes it seems like things are working out.
Seem like it, but reality is not working out.
But it feels like it's like crazy to think. So I don't do anything then? I don't know. I don't know. The other alternative seems like I just lay down and just like look at the sky. You know, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, not people, but things arise. There's like problems, right? How do I get to this place? How do I do this? And then I make arrangements, and then those things happen. And those things seem like I'm solving problems. Are you saying that's not solving problems?
Nope. You can solve practical problems like what color do I want my house to be? Am I going to go to the gym today or not? Blah, blah, blah. Let me ask, have you ever done anything wrong?
Yes, it seems like I've done a lot of things wrong.
And who are you?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
So if that's true, why do you say you have done a lot of things wrong, and you don't even know who you are? How do you know you've done something wrong, anything wrong, if you don't know who you are? And why do you say I've done wrong?
Because things didn't work out the way I thought they would.
But who are you?
I don't know.
But who's doing the thinking that things will work out if you don't know who you are? And why do you say it's you? Why do you say it's you if you don't know who you are?
I don't know. Why do I say it's me if I don't know who I am?
Right. Who are you calling you? When you say, I've done wrong, I've done a lot of things wrong, you don't know who you are, so who are you talking about?
My body?
Are you your body?
It looks like it. I mean, things happen to the body, and I don't like when they happen.
Are you your body? You know? And who don't like it?
Dang. I'm going to say me, and then are you going to ask me who I am again?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
So then why you say you if you're not sure? Why not leave it at, I don't know who done that, if you're not sure? And who is telling you that you have done wrong? Who's telling you that? Are you talking to yourself?
In the world, okay, so in the world, sometimes people do things, and then things happen to them that I don't want to happen to me. So then I go, okay, that must be wrong. That's where I came to that conclusion.
And who is the I that came to that conclusion?
I don't know.
So why do you claim all these things and you don't know who you're talking about? You're accusing yourself of things that you had nothing to do with, and yet you don't know who you're talking about. Does that make sense?
No.
Does that sound like a delusional person?
Yes.
Every human being on earth is delusional until they overcome the anger. You got to drop the anger, which is hatred, which separate you from your true self. And when you do that, then you know who you are. And it's nothing like what you can even imagine.
Sometimes anger feels like strength.
But what does strength feel like?
Like, oh, I'm going to do something now. I'm going to, you know.
And why do you call that strength?
Because I'm manipulating the world. I'm doing something to the world. I'm moving these things, you know.
Let me ask
like
because of time.
Oh, sorry.
Let me ask which is real strength? To do something or to do nothing?
Okay. Well, it seems like to do nothing, but it's painful to do nothing.
And what's painful about that?
Because it seems like I could do something. I don't know what else to say.
And who is feeling the pain to do nothing?
Oh man, I'm gonna say me again. I don't know.
And who are you?
I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am.
So then, why do you say you?
Because then, if I just live in something that I don't know, that seems dangerous.
In what way?
Because it looks like when I didn't know things, then I was getting hurt all the time.
No, you're getting hurt because you think you know things. You're not getting hurt because you don't know. You're getting hurt because you think you know.
Because I think I know?
Yes.
Sometimes if I just, I'm not going to lie, sometimes if I just make something up, when I'm about to get in trouble or something, if I just make something up, it works out where I don't get in trouble.
But that's still not working out, though.
How? How is that not working out?
Because you're just prolonging it for another day. Because of time?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
What will happen if you stop thinking?
Everything says I'm going to die then.
You will die, and then you will have life. Why don't you let that nature die, that old nature, the ego nature, the you that you think you are, the feelings, the ups and the downs, the loneliness, the suicidal thoughts, the fear, the doubt. Why don't you let that die, the thinking? Why don't you let it die and see what happens?
I'm just afraid.
And who is afraid?
Man. Me. You know, what do I...
And who are you?
I don't know.
And where are you afraid? Where is fear located?
Like in my chest.
Are you your chest?
No, but my heart is beating fast.
And
it's
are
like
you
annoying.
Are you the fear that's located in your chest?
It doesn't seem that way. No, I can't be.
So then why do you say you're afraid?
I don't know.
Here's what I recommend you do for one day. I want you to, well, 1, 2, 3 days until Monday.
Okay.
I want you to, for 3 days, never think about you again. Don't bring up you. Don't think about you. Get up and go to work, eat your meals, watch your TV. But I want you to never mention you or think about you for 3 days. And on Monday, let me know what happens.
Okay. All right.
What's the assignment?
The assignment is to not think about the person I don't know.
No. What was the assignment?
Don't think about me.
Right.
For 3 days.
Don't.
I was just joking. Sorry about that.
Right, I know. But don't think about you. Don't bring up you. Don't think about
don't
you
mention.
at all. Anything that's concerning you, it's a practical thing. Go to work and eat and sleep. But don't think about you for 3 days.
Okay. All right.
Can you do that?
I don't know, but I'm gonna try it and then call you back on Monday.
All right.
Because I don't know. I don't want to lie.
Right.
I don't want to lie because I know sometimes I know it's a big problem with me is that I hear things you say and I just start thinking I understand it, and then that's like the worst because like I end up destroying myself and I keep telling people things that I don't really know, you know, and so I'm being honest, you know, so I don't know if I'll do it, but I'll tell you if I didn't or not.
Right.
Monday.
And the reason you keep you say you keep thinking, and what happens? Oh, you think that you know, but you don't know. You know, and the reason for that, because if you think you know, then you don't know. You're going to know when you stop thinking. But thinking you know, you don't know. There is no knowing. There's no thinking in knowing. But so, do the assignment. Call me on Monday.
I will. Okay, thank you.
All right, buddy. 888-7753. 773-888-77 Jesse. Let me go to Indiana and talk to Damien. Damien, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Damien.
What is wrong with the black?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I believe it's
Damien, your phone seems to be screwed up a little bit. Hold on a minute. Because I'm tired, don't hang up, though, okay? Derek, listen to his phone and let me know. Let me go to SHANT out of California. Let's see here. SHANT, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. It's actually SHANT. How are you?
Oh, okay, SHANT. Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. No problem.
Okay.
Hey, Jess, I had a quick question for you. So my son and daughter, from my previous marriage, my daughter now is not speaking to me. So, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
And my son, the relationship I have with him, I don't know. I just feel like there is some sort of resentment, even though I've spoken to him, I've apologized, you know, for all the things that you talk about. I've went through it with him, but he says he's not angry or he doesn't hold any grudge, but I do sense it because when we have a conversation, it's just there. It's hard to hide.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 25.
And how old is your daughter?
24.
So
they're a year apart.
So you and their mother are separated?
Yes, we've been divorced for a long time.
And your question is what?
How do I deal with that, knowing that there is some sort of resentment? Do I just kind of ignore it? Do I address it?
You've already told them about it. You've apologized. Don't deal with it at all. It's on them and not you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right, exactly. But if I see that the relationship, for some reason, it doesn't seem natural. And
it's
why?
It's not.
Yeah, and I'm not chasing the relationship. I'm going with the flow.
Right.
I'm not chasing him. I'm not, So my second question would be, do I reach out to him or do I let him reach out to me?
Let him reach out to you. If you want to reach out to him, but let him reach out to you.
Yeah, because when I do reach out to him, it seems like it's a forceful interaction. It feels like it's a one-way interaction.
Let it go.
Okay.
Be done with it. Just don't be angry.
Okay, let it go, meaning just don't call him anymore? Or
yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yes.
Okay, just let it go. And if he calls, just go with the flow, or what do I do at that
Absolutely.
point?
Don't plan what you're going to do. Have a wait and see. But just have a wait and see. But you got to let go and let him suffer now because you can't save him. Only the Spirit of Truth can save him.
Yeah, and he's not even about that. He's so against that.
Right, so let him suffer.
Okay. No problem.
Leave him in his hell.
Okay, so don't call him anymore. If he reaches out, just go with the flow, and if he doesn't call, he doesn't call.
Right.
Just let it go is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. I wish you well.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
You as well.
All
Bye-bye.
right. I am out of time. It's amazing. Yes, hey. Super chat.
Nice. Angban Art. Christianity comes from Judaism, Middle Eastern religions that spread to Western Europe through Rome. The white man's original religion is that of Scandinavia. Belief in elves, fairies, and dwarves. Says he.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Anthony on Cash App for Batman. Na pow, bam, pow. Na Batman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tyrannosaurus wrecked. JSC is on pilled. Jesse Lee Peterson.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the pills.
Mr. Pete gifted the can. It's one med student I wouldn't want as a doctor. Welcome to Foxhole. Aw. Bert.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Bert
Thank
Cocaine gifted the can. Amazing. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
Elaine. Oh, we better read the rest of these next week, guys. Thank you all.
Thank
Monday.
you all so much. I will read it. We're going to start out with those on Monday. If the Lord is willing and creek to rise. Ray out of Hampton. Damien out of Indiana. And the call just dropped out of wherever. I'm out of time. The hate report coming now. Then the Father State at 11. At 12, the American Anchor Baby. I'll see you on Sunday. RebuildingTheMan.com/church. Amazing men fellowship. Yes, it was mind-blowing. Bye. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier, easier, easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Check out Punchy's Coffee. I have my own coffee now. Punchy Coffee is good. Every bag is roasted to order. Freshest flavor. Top quality. Specialty grade beans. Good. Every dime goes back to Bar, my nonprofit. And we are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. So when you're drinking coffee and enjoying it, just know you're helping somebody. Amazing coffee. Punchy has his own coffee now. What the? And it's so good. All the way from the plantation to my own coffee. Who would have thought? Did that coffee come from the plantation? Did I pick my own coffee? Check it out. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/stores and get Punchy's Coffee.